Okay, so I'm 22 years old, right, as we speak. And I've spent to this day around $30,000 on digital courses and online mentorships and programs, all of this stuff that we all know online. Okay, I've done it, right? I've spent way more than you probably have. So for those of you that are going, oh, I tried a dropshipping program and it was a scam and you spent $1,000 on it, I've done way more and been scammed way worse, okay? And I'm gonna give you a rundown of my experience so far, because here's the thing. I've done some very, very good ones. I've also done some very, very bad ones too, okay? Naturally, with that amount of money spent on programs and that diversification, of course, you're gonna get some good ones, some outliers, some ones that actually really help out, and some ones that are just terrible, okay? I'm gonna run you through which ones are pretty good and which ones are pretty shit, okay? And the funny thing is, I've had my fair share of bad ones, and I want to reassure you, like, I still to this day spend money on stuff like this. Like, I'll continue to do it. Like, I don't care if it gets to the point where, like, for example, I do another one to help me out, which, to be honest, I've literally just invested into one now for my business, right? Um, like, I'm not afraid of things not working out or being scammed or whatever, because truthfully, like, the whole scam thing is kind of your fault as well. Like, it's not hard to tell someone's full of shit nowadays. So if you manage to get yourself scammed, like, that's partly your fault as well. I don't know, unless the person that you bought from was just a spectacular liar. But normally, like, the thing with being scammed, it's like you got to be very careful. This is one point I want to make as well. Be very careful calling things a scam. Just because you joined and then it didn't work out to the way that you thought it would, but you didn't really do the work, that's not a scam. That's you not working, right? Like, the things that I've done that I wouldn't even call them a scam, because I did get what was, I got what they said they were going to give me, but what came down to whether it was good or not, good or bad, right, is how the stuff was delivered and how it actually helped and all of this stuff. Okay, so yeah, I'll continue to do it. I've done loads already. I've been I've been mugged off, whatever, and I'm running through my experience. Okay, so the first thing that I ever did, I've spent probably this one here, starting a marketing agency, was my first ever venture, right? In terms of like online business, so to speak. I tried dropshipping previously, didn't buy a course for it. Tried print on demand, I tried e-com, I tried crypto. I put 3.5K into a crypto coin. That basically, it was a DeFi project, right? I'm not gonna. This isn't counting towards the 30K budget for the courses and stuff. By the way, put 3.5K pounds into this DeFi project, which is going to pay you 1% of your portfolio per day. So me at 17 opened an account illegally. Not illegally, like in terms of like, in a Machiavellian way. I should have been 18, but I did it at 17. Put 3.5K in, and they said it was going to pay me 1% daily, so £35 a day coming out. And then it just went to basically, like, it was this token that was £95 per token. I bought basically, 3.5 grand worth of tokens, right? And it went to, like, the value of the token went to zero in the space of a month. Anyway, so I tried starting a marketing agency. And I bought a 997 course. I'm not going to say their name. And do you know what? The guy that sold this program gets a lot of shit online. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a decent program, but it was more built around, like, it was like Netflix, right? It wasn't really like, there wasn't much source to it in terms of like, this is going to blow your mind, like this is going to scale your business or whatever. It was very like, it was Netflix, basically. The information on there wasn't really that great. There were people that got results, so I can't objectively call it a scam, but it wasn't that great. And I remember what led me to then spending more money on mentorships and courses around an agency was the fact that I was bought in terms of the model. I knew it was going to work, but that specific course wasn't going to get me there. Didn't have enough information that I needed. I realized I needed one-to-one. I needed someone to hold my hand and show me exactly what to do, right? Which is why with my appointment setting mentorship that I have now, that's why I can do it so well, because I know that beginners need one-to-one help, and it's not just chuck you into some course and wish good luck, which is basically what that one was, right? So I then seeked out one-to-one mentorship, which was 2.5 grand, right? So that's already 3.5 grand on agency mentorships. That one, right? Now, luckily this person that I'm about to reference is a personal friend of mine now. So I can actually, it's fun, I can say this. But his mentorship program came with one-to-one and a course. And the course and the advice he was giving me was it was a direct one-to-one copy of Charlie Morgan. I'm not even joking. It was a direct one-to-one copy of Charlie Morgan's program. Okay. And I remember looking at it and going, this is Charlie's stuff. This is like, you've got this from Charlie. The same templated stuff and everything. It was Charlie's stuff, right? It was a direct one-to-one copy that he'd resold, and the information that he was giving me was a direct copy of Charlie Morgan's stuff, right? So that I would kind of call a scam, right? It wasn't like I bought it and then I didn't get what was promised. I got the stuff, but it was he had probably just gone and flogged Charlie's course off the internet for free, and then just took it all and then claimed his, the knowledge is his own, right? So that's $2,500 down the drain. And the deal was something like, you pay me $2,500 to start, and when you sign your first client, you pay another $2,500. I didn't sign a client, right? Now, part of that was down to me as well. I'm not going to pretend that this guy was awful. But luckily I didn't have to pay the other $2,500 because, I didn't sign a client. And also I looked at the program and I was like, this is literally Charlie Morgan's program, right? Anyway, so that was that. That was pretty dog shit. Okay. I've done several more, right? In terms of so I've done ones on like sales coaching, which is fantastic. I've done one on social media, right? In terms of like a done for you social media service. That was pretty good. I've done ones on operations and I've done a wide range of them. I paid for a few one-to-one calls with experts in the space to give me advice around certain topics. I've bought courses around, I've done like low ticket courses for like, £600-700 of like how to run ads. Some of them are quite shit, some of them are quite good. The one-to-one calls that I've done with founders and entrepreneurs that are running businesses much further ahead than mine, those are pretty good actually. To be fair, I found that one-to-one calls, like if you're not like a complete beginner, sometimes if you just want one specific problem solved, if you just pay for a couple of one-to-one calls with an expert in that field, that'll solve it, to be honest. Like if you're like, for example, you're running a business, you're already quite sophisticated, you kind of already know how the game works, paying like a few grand for a couple of one-to-one calls with a couple of business guys that are high up in the space, that is actually super valuable. I've done that a couple of times. I've spent thousands on shit that didn't work, like I said there. I've spent money on like mindset coaching as well. I've done loads of low ticket stuff. I've spent loads of money on joining school communities, learning AI. Like honestly, I've done so much. And I calculated the other day, it came up to $30,000. Right? So my verdict, because the question's always going to be, are they worth it? Are they a scam? Right? Now look, there's always going to be people that are doing it wrong. There's always going to be people that are doing it like terribly, okay? But that's not the course model by itself. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The way I made my money, right, was doing appointment setting. So I've made well over six figures. That's how I hit my first ever six figures online, was doing appointment setting, right? My first, multi six figures online was through appointment setting, okay? I now do mentorship, right? And coaching on that. And I do that one-to-one, by the way, okay? So I do sell that is paid. But unbiased opinion, because I've done all of this, this shit stuff and I've been mugged off, I know how to build shit properly now. So that's why when people come on board and they get me one-to-one, they get good results. And you can see that on my channel, right? You can see all of the client results that I've gotten. Right, so this is my unbiased opinion as someone that obviously does mentorship and obviously has done those mentorships in the past as well. You just got to be very careful who you go with. That's basically the main thing. It's not that the course model doesn't work, it's who you're learning from. Because here's the thing, guys, it's never the course, it's the person selling it. That's literally what it is. It's the person you're buying from. So please, for the love of God, stop buying from people who don't know what they're talking about. You need to vet them properly, right? For example, that guy that was selling that agency mentorship, I just believed him at, I just believed him at face value. He was telling me he's doing 15K a month of his agency. I then found out he'd never made a penny with it, right? And then when I got into his program, it was a direct copy of Charlie Morgan's program. It's just like, that was my fault for just, being naive at 19 and going, yeah, please help me. And he was going, yeah, we do 15K a month with our agency. I should have actually vetted him further and asked him specific questions that like you can only answer if you're legit, like show me proof of this, man. Show me proof, right? With stuff like that, you've got to be able to, like for example, I'm about to shit on my competitors here and I have no shame in doing this. And I hope some of you are watching this. Genuinely, I'd love to name names of some of my competitors. I hope some of you are watching this because it disgusts me, right? How some of you guys sell your mentorship or your program, because I have calls and I talk to people, they've done your programs and I hear some horrific stuff, honestly, right? And I'm going to tell you why this happens. Is because, for example, right, with appointment setting coaching or sales coaching in general, let's go broad, right? with high ticket sales, consulting, or coaching programs, a lot of the time you're learning from someone that hit one 5K month one time, and then they sell a course on how to hit 5K per month. They haven't actually done that model for a very long time. They saw more money in selling you a course on it, right? It's like a well-known thing. I was at a mastermind the other day, and we were laughing about how most remote closing programs is taught by a closer that hit one 10K month in dollars, not pounds, and then sells a course on how to hit 10K per month, but he's shit at sales. It's like that with appointment set as well. It's like you did one really good month, mate, and now you sell a course on how to do it, and you don't do it anymore either, right? You always got to ask yourself, why have you stopped doing that thing? Why have you stopped selling this? Sorry, why have you stopped doing that that method that you were teaching? With me, I haven't stopped doing it. I still have appointment setting clients. Why? Because it pays, and I'm good at it, and that's why I can make my shit really good. Because, oh, surprise, surprise, I'm still in the game. I know what works now. It's not like you're going to get into this thing and it's outdated information. For example, one of those programs that I did, one of those 997 programs that I did, it actually got exposed online that some of the marketing training for the agency stuff, right, had been outdated for 3 years. And it was teaching methods in the program that Facebook had removed on its platform, like years after, but it was still in the program, right? It's stuff like that, guys. You got to be very careful who you're learning from. When you're buying a mentorship, is it mentorship, or is it a few PDFs and chucked in a Discord chat where you get responded to every 3 hours, every 4 or 5 hours, right? From somebody that isn't the person that you paid. Is it like that? Right? Now, here's the thing. Some programs like that are great and they do work. But I would expect, right, if you're not some big shot guy, right, like, I paid you. I want to ask you the questions. Like, that's what I hated with these things. It was like you buy from this person, you get in, and then you don't see or hear from the person ever again after they've taken your money. Right? So with my competitors and stuff, right? Now some of them are pretty good. I'm not going to be, bitter and twisted and jealous or whatever and just say, oh, they're all bad. Some of them are pretty good, right? Some of the people that I'm competing against, fair play to you. I'm speaking to the select few, right? But I'm speaking to quite a few of you that I know are watching this. Your shit stinks, right? It's terrible. You should not be coaching people. You should have been doing your thing longer. How long have they been doing that? How long have they been doing that thing for? How much did they make with it, right? Why do they stop if they have at all? Okay, and vet their client, results. It's so easy to like a lot of these guys. They say, for example, my student hit 10K in 30 days. I will tell you firsthand because I'm in the game. Hitting 10K a month, right, with appointment setting is really hard to do, right? It's not easy. You can get there. You can do it within a few months, 100%. I'm not saying you can't, but it's nowhere near as easy to make it out to be. Doing 3K, 5K, 6K. That's the easier kind of route. 10K, appointment setting really isn't the model to do 10K consistently. It really isn't, right? It's not, it can be done. I've done it myself and I've got proof of that as well. It can be done, but it's not really, what's the best way to put this? Look, a Vauxhall Astra 2009 can go 120 miles an hour. Of course it can, but it's not the kind of car to do that. That's the kind of way to put it, right? 10K is kind of the limit, right? You can do, for example, 15K, 16K. Now, I have a guy called Ben that did that. These are anomalies, guys. But these, other people that I'm mentioning right now, they make it out to be so easy. Like, oh, my student started as a complete beginner. He hit 10K in 30 days. He didn't. He did not. I promise you. I promise you. I saw it. It was like, oh yeah, James hit 10K in 30 days as a complete beginner. No, he didn't. He didn't. I promise you he didn't. And those guys that do hit it that quick, because there are anomalies. For example, I had Ben hit 15.6K in a couple of months working together, right? That I'm going to admit was an anomaly. I've never had a client do that well that quickly before. That, I will hold my hands up. I don't even know how he did that, right? I don't even understand, right? I thought he was going to do 3K, 5K. His goal was like 3K per month. He did 15.6. There's a video for that. And look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to get that far because you probably won't. You probably won't. Be a select few of you that do it that quickly. There's always going to be like 1%ers. That guy there, Ben, is a 1%er. So when you see someone going, oh, 10K, 10K, loads of their clients hit 10K, it's a lie. It's so hard to do that quickly without prior experience. If somebody was working like a really high-end sales job and then they start appointment setting, then they have leverage to get on a role that could potentially pay them 10K because they had that experience. But trust me, as a complete beginner, crippling introvert or whatever, like somebody who's got no experience and can't even talk on camera properly, you're not going to do 10K in 30 days. Now look, you can get there within 6 months. You can do it with the appointment setting, but it is kind of the limit, right? Like it is like, it's not really the model to do it, okay? Like I said, you can, but that's when the car starts shaking and is about to break. It's kind of there's the wit's end of the model, basically. Okay, 3K, 5K, 6K, 7K. Yes, 100%. 10K is like, right, you're getting there. And then more than that is kind of like the steering wheel on the motorway, or the Vauxhall Astra 2009, right? That, by the way, true story, this is the car that I used to drive, right? The wheel starts just, it's like that, right? Okay, so you need to vet who you're buying from, okay? So now, like I've just spent £6,000 on something that I'm going to, I'm not going to say what it is, right? But so far, really fucking good. Because I know how to vet stuff now. This guy that I've bought from has been in the game he's been in his field for like a decade, right? And I've got him helping me one-to-one. It's not, oh, join this program and I get tucked in. Like, no, I get him one-to-one. I get his personal WhatsApp. I'm speaking to him daily, right? I'm not chucked into some shit course and wish good luck with 10-minute videos that are outdated 3 years ago, right? From someone who did this model briefly and then saw more money in selling a course. So no, they're not a scam, right? The person that you're buying from is the scammer. It's not courses, it's the person you're buying from. So don't buy from dickheads, right? It's not hard. Those guys that go, yeah, appointment setting, bro, I made 10K last month, appointment set. Half of those guys tell you they make 20, 30K a month for appointment setting, they're traveling the world. They made that money selling you a course. Because you can make more money selling a course on how to do appointment setting than you can do an appointment setting. I will say that straight up, right? I will make more money, right, in the long run, selling my coaching and services on how to do appointment setting than I will with appointment setting. Why? Because appointment setting, again, is not the model to get to like 100, 200K per month. It's not. If I meet an appointment setter that's doing 100K a month, fair fucking play, but it's not the model. You're going to learn in business. There's vehicles for certain revenue models, right? For revenue levels, right? There's vehicles for it. 0 to 5/10, appointment setting, fantastic. 10K and above starts like the car starts rattling, and then like you're going to get kind of capped, right? Then there's like closing, for example. That's from like 10K to, do you know what? You can do like 6 figures in a month with closing, but it's like, that is like fucking, that is quite rare. Right? And that's not something you can do within a couple of months. You can do it, but it's more so kind of like, that's the 20, 30, 40, 50K, kind of like the high, the multi 5-figure mark. Then starting a business is like, boom, endless, right? That's when it can go to like 100K, 200K, 300K, 400K. And then you can realize within the business as well, there's different ways of operating that you need to operate it at to make more and more money, right? So full transparency, right? But here's the thing. If you get good at something, don't ever get in the mindset of, I don't want to be a course seller, I don't want to sell mentorships. If you are good at what you do and you can actually help people, have no shame, because you're a legit person. And when people come on board, they will sing your praises and they'll be happy with the results that you get them, and it will make you feel fulfilled. If you sell a program and you can actually get results, you should have no shame, okay? If you sell a program and you don't get results and you don't give a fuck and you spend all the money on flexing your lifestyle to sell more courses, then you should have shame, okay? That is the only time mentorships and courses are bad. And the reason why they get a bad stick is because of those guys that I said there, which unfortunately is a lot of people in the sales space. So be very careful. If you're looking at appointment setting content and you're seeing someone go, yeah, I wasn't, like for example, they've got a YouTube channel that goes, oh, my $25,000, $789, $25,789, $7 week in Dubai. And it's like them driving a Lamborghini. Like, come on. And they'll tell you they made it with appointment setting. They didn't. They did it from sending you a course, you get in the program, it's dog shit, you're chucked in a Discord community and you're not spoken to for several days at a time. And then they just kind of disappear out of nowhere after charging you like 4 or 5 grand. I was on a call with a lad the other day who is actually coming on board to work me one-to-one. So he was actually going to go with someone else, right? And their thing is like, it's very expensive, I'm not going to say what it is. But for what they're selling, it was literally just like, right, here's this program, which apparently was dog shit as well, like you heard from other people, and then you're chucked in the Discord community, and it's like, just shut the fuck up, be a good little boy, and do the program and leave me alone. It's kind of like that, right? So I've been in that position where it's been me. Luckily now, look, shameless plug, I do sell a program, mentorship, one-to-one. It's not, don't think of it as a course, right? You're going to get me personally. I'm not going to chuck in a Discord group, and actually I have a guarantee attached as well, right? So look, I'm doing a shameless plug here. I'm so good at appointment setting, right? I'm going to toot my own horn, and I've got the proof to prove it, right? I've got the proof in the pudding. I've done multiple six figures. I've done well over 2 million cash collected for clients like Charlie Morgan, William Brown. I've landed setting clients of that caliber. I've helped several people like yourself quit their job, make 3K, 4K, 5K, got Ben 15.6K, right? Anomaly. I'm not going to tell you you're going to get there because you probably won't, right? That quick. You can get there eventually, 100%. But that quick in a couple of months, no. That was an anomaly. Now, I could easily sit there and go, oh, yeah, we do, this is what we do. No, that was an anomaly. It's very rare to happen. You're probably not going to come on board and do 10K in 30 days. You're most likely not going to. You're probably not. You're probably not, mate. Like, I'll just tell you straight up, because most other people won't, right? So yeah, because of that, because I'm so confident, I actually guarantee people will land a high ticket role with me, a good high ticket role, because I've got methods of landing roles that will blow your mind, right? That are landing me clients like Charlie Morgan, William Brown, like I said, from cold DMs, mate, right? Scripts that will it's not, first of all, it's not the script, it's so much more than that, but this is what I'll teach you. I'll guarantee that, otherwise you're not going to pay me. So I'll put my money where my mouth is, I'll work you one-to-one, and you get access to me and my network, right? Like, it's a no-brainer, okay? So that's why I can do shit properly, and you can see it from my results, right? That's why I can do this stuff properly, because I'm still in the game. I actually know what I'm talking about. And I've done courses in the past that are shit, and good ones as well, so I know how to build things properly. And that should reassure you. So to answer the question, to make a long story short, our course is a scam. Was it worth it? Yes, every single one that I did was worth it, because it taught me lessons. And the most important lessons that I learned were how to find people that are good to buy shit from, and also how to make my program good, because I did bad stuff in the past. The reason why my stuff is so good now and I can get clients good results is because I've done the bad stuff, and I can actually see what not to do and what to do as a result. That's why every single dollar that I spent, all of that 30K, right? Every single cent of it was worth it. Every single part. Even if it didn't make me money directly from that, it made me money indirectly from the lessons that I learned, that I then applied to other areas of my life and business from failing and learning the hard way with these things that didn't work out. Okay? So yeah, it was all worth it. Okay? And just I want to leave you this. Just change your mindset around courses and mentorships. Because here's the thing, right? You hear it and you immediately think scammer. The course isn't the scam, it's the person. Always the person. It's never the course. It's never the mentorship. It's not that, it's the person. So stop thinking as that, the model, right? The program, the mentorship as a scam. That's not what it is, it's the person. The bad course sellers are scammers. Courses and mentorships are not scams. There are scam course sellers and mentorships. The way you vet it is seeing where their priorities lie, how long they've been doing it for, why they stopped, and actually who they are as a person. For example, if I was just posting shit about like, oh, I've got a nice watch and a Rolex and stuff, which by the way, I don't, because I spend all my money putting it back into the business to make it better, right? And I do live quite a nice life, but I'm not a dick driving around a rented Lamborghini and trying to pick up, like, I don't do that. I live a nice life, right? But, you will never see me going, yes, G, yeah, G, just start setting, G, just do setting, bro. Just remote sales, bro. Yeah, yeah, remote sales, bro. Yeah. Like, you're not going to see me doing that ever. I will always give you value in these videos. I'll always teach you how to do shit properly, right? I'll always tell you the truth. Courses and mentorships are not scams. The people you buy from are. What are their priorities? Is it flexing their lifestyle, or is it client results? Because mine's client results. At least I hope it's coming across that way. Okay, mine is client results. Okay, basically everything I make, I put back into the business to make it even better, to get clients better results. Every single penny a lot of these other guys make goes back into their ego, so they can try and sell more courses and give you this dog shit PDF and a Discord group full of other wankers, right, who don't know what they're talking about. And then when you ask a question, you get an answer from somebody that isn't the person who doesn't know what they're talking about. You implement their information and you get the wrong result because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So yeah, 30K on courses, was it worth it? Yes. Not in the way that you might think, but hopefully you can take that lesson, apply it, and get good results, okay? If you are an appointment setter, or you're looking to start, or you're struggling, or whatever, you just can't land high ticket roles, maybe you did actually buy from one of those dickhead guys that I just mentioned there, and couldn't get your results, come to me and we'll do it properly, right? I'll guarantee you land a high ticket role that doesn't have a 5K OT, which is a lie, within 6 weeks. Otherwise, I'm not going to charge you, right? You don't pay. If that is of interest, there is a cool link down below. There's a link down below to go on my website, book a call with me, and that is with me. You're not going to speak to a closer, right? You can speak to me directly, and when we work together, you're going to work with me one-to-one directly as well. If that is of interest, look, no pressure. Click it if you want. That's there. We can have a chat. We can go through it. See you soon. Take care. Hopefully you learned something.